Hi, my name is John Hosek. I'm a design specialist with Fitz Design. Today I'm going to talk about the Flutters collection from Fitz. I'm going to be using the Galaxy bracelet, and I've already have it designed almost all the way to completion. We're going to be using two of the components, one of the Bobby collection and also one of the Tweety collections. And what I'm going to do with this design to add a little bit of bling and fun to it, because we have great movement just with the flowers themselves and some great textures, but the feather element really is going to add a lot of interest to it. I'm going to deconstruct one of the Bobby flutters. I'm going to add a little bit of the floral adhesive to the bottom, and again I'm going to put it into the design, bring it back out, put it back in. I'm going to add another flutter. I'm going to group like items to give me a stronger impact. Again, add just a little bit of the adhesive. Working that back into the design. And I love this Tweety collection, which is a very, very fun, it's got great feathers and some wonderful rhinestones. And again, I'm going to cut these elements apart. It's going to give me a lot more value for the elements that go into the design. It allows me to separate these elements into different parts of the design itself. Again, entering in, back in. It gives me some great movement, some wonderful line, and that element of fun with all the feathers. We see feathers being such a great trend in our industry, and we at Fitz really like adding the feathers for embellishments and perceived value to our clients and our customers. Another one of the great elements with the feathers, it gives us a lot of depth dimension. We have great motion in line with the flowers and doing some great clustering and grouping, but the feathers really extend that line out across the corsage itself, and it gives you such great movement and how fun. Also adding some of the chic leaves and a little bit of the rose leaf for a little glistening. What a beautiful element that adds to this corsage for that wow factor. Also in the Flutters collection is a whole variety of different kinds of feathers. We have some beautiful Twiggy collection, which has these great laterals that come right out to give you some great motion. We also have Mile High, which you can see that is at the absence of the rhinestones, gives it a little different twist and texture. We also have our standard flutters, which the feathers are a little bit shorter for a little bit more basing into the design. Again, I'm going to do some deconstruction of the flutters, which really gives us a lot of mileage by stretching those feathers out and also bringing them down a little bit tighter into the design. This first one, the Mile High, I'm going to use to complement my scepter. And if you've noticed, I'm using the Lotus scepter, one of the great scepters we have here at Fitz. And I do some wonderful ribbon just coming down, giving us this great trail. And I'm going to insert this into the grid I've already established with my ribbons, pull it back out, going right back in. That's going to give me a great placement. We can see some wonderful movement and some lines starting to happen. And on the Twiggy, it's going to give us a whole lot of different kind of mileage with this one, which I love. I'm actually going to take it completely away from the base itself. And these other elements across the top, I'm also going to deconstruct the Twiggy, and it's left me with some of the larger elements that I have here for a little bit of motion and movement. If you take the back side of the feather and the spine of your knife, I'm going to use tension with my knife across the feather and curl it, which is going to give me some other perceived value to create some different motion into my design. I'm going to do that to each one of my larger elements. You know how wonderful that is? So now I'm going to add a little bit of the glue to the ends of my feathers. And I'm going to group a couple of these together at one time just to give us a little fun impact. This is also going to buy some space because in our scepter design we have everything very tight and dense into this design, so I'm going to add these for that little bit of a wow factor across the top. Bringing it back out, back in. I'm going to have these little fun, playful, almost whimsical lines just starting to roll across the top of the scepter. Almost Susical in its feel, but that really gives us a great rhythm. And for a finishing touch, I've added a little bit of the glue with the feathers at the bottom of this cascade. Thank you for joining us today. And again, I'm John Hosek with Fitz Design, leaders in the industry, setting the standard.